Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Advance. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. We see them. And today we have another crazy show in store for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and sub to the channel if you haven't already. So today we have another crazy one. As you guys know, ESPN has been doing some cord cutting over the last 2 years. The most recent, well, before this news, but the most recent big name staff that they let go of was RG3. They let go of him, and he made a joke about it, how you get fired on the weekend. They got rid of him, but prior to that, they had gotten rid of some pretty high-profile names. You're talking about people like Jalen Rose, Keyshawn Johnson, Max Kellerman, Mark Jackson, Jeff Van Gundy, just to list a few. And at the time, those names made a lot of headlines. And as people were reacting to it, some people that were working within ESPN, like Stephen A. Smith, said that these things happen and there will be more cord cutting taking place in the future. Now, here's what's interesting about the person that just got let go of. I don't know, I can't speak today. We had actually produced a show about him just about 2 days ago. Just literally 2 days ago, when he was interviewing Lakers head coach JJ Redick. Who are we referring to? Zach Lowe, right? We just did a show about an interview that took place on the Low Post podcast on ESPN by Zach Lowe. And it turns out that ESPN just got rid of Zach Lowe, and the reason that they're citing for doing so was essentially because of his salary. And this is all over the internet, but today we want to read from market.com. But before we even get into this story, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. With only 4 months left until the end of the year, I look forward to creating special moments with family and friends by attending various theaters, shows, plays, and sporting events. And when it comes time for me to look for tickets, I absolutely love to use Game Time. Game Time is one of the most reliable marketplaces for last-minute tickets to the most popular events in sports, music, and theater in more than 60 cities across the United States and Canada. Game Time saves me money, time, and peace of mind, so I don't have to sort through thousands of tickets looking for the best prices or worry about whether or not if they're authentic or whether if I'm going to receive them on time. Game Time Picks, one of my favorite Game Time tools, analyzes thousands of tickets for all of your favorite events near your location and finds you the best possible deal so you don't have to. For example, I'm looking forward to this upcoming concert at Madison Square Garden of one of my favorite composers, Hans Zimmer. Here I can select the all-in price to see the total ticket price up front. No hidden fees. And now I can sort through the best possible deals I can find. I can choose the cheapest deals, the great deal, or the amazing deal. Once you select the ticket you want, you can use their panoramic seat view to ensure you know exactly what you're getting before you buy. And if you're like me and always make plans at the last minute, you can grab tickets up to 90 minutes after the event has started. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and use redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let's get into what this article had to say here. It says, why Zach Lowe's $1 million contract led to his exit from ESPN. Zach Lowe is a well-known figure in the basketball world, celebrated for his sharp analysis and insightful commentary on the NBA. As a senior writer for ESPN, he built a reputation over time, over his more than 10 years with the network, having first joined Bill Simmons' Grantland in 2012. Lowe's journey through the world of sports journalism has been marked by his keen understanding of the game, as well as his ability to break down complex strategies in a way that fans can appreciate. He's also hosted the popular Low Post podcast and frequently appeared on NBA Today, making him a familiar face to basketball enthusiasts everywhere. And it says here from The Athletic News, ESPN parted ways with NBA senior writer Zach Lowe as a part of the network's continuing layoffs, sources tell Andrew Marchand. Lowe's salary, which was over 7 figures annually, was the biggest factor in ESPN's decision. Unfortunately, the latest buzz in sports media reveals that Lowe is no longer with ESPN. According to Andrew Marchand from The Athletic, Lowe's dismissal was part of a wave of layoffs that has recently hit the network, which also saw notable departures like Robert Griffin III and Samantha Ponder just before the football season kicked off. Reports suggest that Lowe's salary over $1 million a year was a significant factor in the decision to let him go. One insider noted his salary was the biggest factor in the dismissal from ESPN, highlighting the tough choices networks face in today's changing media landscape. And then some other news outlets decided to react to this story as well. What are my thoughts on this? Okay, what are my thoughts on this? First of all, people out there like Stephen A. Smith have warned that things like this are going to happen, right? So he's kind of put that in the air. But then you have the other aspect of this, which is, as you guys know, ESPN did give Pat McAfee $85 million. ESPN did just sign Shannon Sharp. We're hearing stories of ESPN potentially giving Stephen A. Smith $25 million per annum. So it's not like as if ESPN doesn't have resources. They have resources. It seems like what they're doing is they're consolidating all of their resources towards a few key big name figures at the network. That seems to be the case, because if you're telling me that they're getting rid of Zach Lowe for $1 million, but then you have a budget to give Stephen A. Smith $25 million. Obviously, there are different shows and all of that. I understand that their various shows make various amounts of income, and I get all of that. But nevertheless, we're talking about it's still the same company. It just goes to show you that they're pretty much trying to invest all their money in the big talent that they have. Essentially, that's what it seems like to me. That's the first part. The second part, and I got to discuss this. I was surprised to hear the amount of money Zach Lowe was making a year. I actually thought he would be making more, if I'm being honest with you guys. I just believed that he'd be making more money. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just my naivety. Maybe I didn't know anything about the industry. I guess when you see people on TV, you just assume that they're making, millions and millions and millions and now some people do make millions of dollars, don't get it twisted, but there are other people at ESPN that it would seem that are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. When people think about, I want to work on TV, you think you want to make it big, you want to be famous, you want to be, as they say, rich and famous. I don't know. I assumed that they would be earning more. Now, here's the other side to this. And as I'm thinking about this, I don't know why I'm thinking about Marcellus Wiley, but here's the other side to this. Now that figures like Zach Lowe are no longer working at ESPN, we now have to look, okay, what happens next? We have to ponder what happens next. And usually in a case like this, if you don't have a platform outside of what you were doing on television, it's going to be pretty difficult, because now you're going to be trying to knock on other doors. But when you have people like the Marcellus Wileys and others who spent time building out their own thing in the independent space, you can now just kind of go into your own groove and do your own thing, right? And there are people out there making $1 million and more doing it independently, right? But it really shows you how the sports media landscape is really, really changing, right? And a lot of people are beginning to now hedge their bets. Stephen A. Smith is another one, right? He saw the writing on the wall and he started his own Stephen A. Smith show, which is successful, right? So it goes to show you how this thing is changing. I think Zach Lowe obviously will probably get employment elsewhere. All of these guys generally tend to, but I guess we just have to wait and see. So the question to the audience is, what do you think about this news? Do you think ESPN made the right decision or not? Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.